Hi, I'm Jacqueline from Airport Improvement Magazine, and I'm here with Tom and Chris from Ameristar Perimeter Security. Tell me some about the two of you have worked together for 20 years.
20 plus years. So I started my career at Cyclone Fence in 1989. Worked there for about 10 years and we did contracting. So we were actually a contractor, fence contractor. I spent about 4.5 years doing federal prison work, removing and replacing the perimeters of existing correctional facilities. And about 22 years ago, I started at Ameristar. So I've been at Ameristar for 22 years. Ameristar has been in existence for about 40 years. And that's where I met my friend Chris.
Yep. And my name's 𝗧𝗲𝗹𝗹. I've been with the company for 25 years. Similar to Tom, we've done multiple roles at Ameristar. We've seen it grow from kind of a small individually owned company by one individual to what we are today. And it's been a great journey. We've seen a lot of growth and a lot of development and a lot of changes, which has been absolutely phenomenal. So it's been a wonderful place to work for. And I think Tom would agree that the future is bright for our company. So it's been a lot of fun to be a part of.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the history of Ameristar and sort of how you got started.
So Ameristar started about 40 years ago by an individual who was the quintessential American success story. He started a business out of his garage with a passion for the industry and a manufacturing mindset, and turned that garage business into where we are currently. Based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have about 1 million square feet of manufacturing and warehousing. We went from 1 employee to well over 600 employees, and we have a nationwide footprint in fence and perimeter security.
Yeah, and some of the growth we've seen over that time is, like Tom alluded to, we've seen the growth from a singular product line that was being handmade by an individual all the way up to, I don't want to say countless multiple lines, but we have lines that range anywhere from somebody's backyard to the highest security applications that you could imagine. And so to be able to see that breadth of product line that we have offerings, if we need to keep a dog in the backyard, or we need to keep the boogeyman from getting into a certain facility that's very high secure, we can provide all of that. And so we try to offer solutions all across the board, particularly in the aviation division, because with aviation, there are so many different dynamics between traffic flow and the tarmac control and terminal protection. There's a lot that goes into it. So we have a wide range of products that we can help protect the safety of passengers and people that work there.
Right. So what are some of the specific products that you sell the most in the aviation industry?
So we have 20 different product lines in over 300 airports across the United States, ranging from some aesthetic type of products, in particular at Charlotte, where's my home base. We have some aesthetic fences and some pet control fences there, to protecting critical infrastructure at other airports. We have fences with anti-ram capability. Most recently, Chris was working on a project at Love Field where there's multiple product lines in play for various reasons, and I'll let Chris.
So one of the things that we've seen particularly recently is terminal protection, and so there's a lot of concern about protecting the passenger experience and making sure that they're safe when they're in an airport facility. And so a lot of the projects we're doing could be as simple as bollards. It could be as simple as pedestrian flow to say, okay, people have to walk in a certain area. And a lot of that stuff goes unnoticed for your typical traveler. Right. And so a lot of the things that we do are, not really, flashy and high level things, like a lot of the technologies and things like that you see in the airport. But they're equally, if not more important. We'll keep a vehicle from driving into a baggage claim area, or we'll keep pedestrians from walking into a busy street when they're trying to catch an Uber. Right. So a lot of that stuff, it's really important. I mean, it's really neat to be part of, to see how these airports are trying to protect the safety of everybody that's involved in it.
Right, that's wonderful. So any upcoming projects or new products that you guys have you want to share?
We actually had a visit here to the booth just a few minutes ago, and there are some projects that are out on the street where they're looking at perimeter security for various airports across the country. I don't know that I'm at liberty to name them at this point. And what they're trying to do is limit people from getting into the AOA from the perimeter of the airport itself. It's a very complicated thing because of you have such a vast footprint, and incorporating technology into some of that is something we can do. Some of our product lines actually support the ability to add intrusion detection systems, cameras, technology poles, things that that aren't necessarily directly related to the fence, but that can be added to the fence to incorporate more security.
So that segues perfectly into my next question. What do you feel like you gain from attending this conference and kind of networking and talking with other companies?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we really get the most benefit out of is it's multiple different things. Number one is you see a lot of the people with the actual airports here, and they ask different questions, whether it be, how do I keep deer from crossing into my municipal airport, all the way up to, hey, we're one of the big boys and we're trying to keep vehicles from entering a certain area. So it's all across the board, but it's a great mix because the questions that we get asked and the help that we can provide for them is invaluable. And then pair that with some of the vendors that we see at the show. There's a lot of vendors that have different synergies with us where we can say, okay, we're working on this aspect of the airport. Can you help us with this? And so that's probably one of the second things that we see. And then the third things is things like airport improvement. Tom and I have known Vicki a long time, and some of the information she's given to us and industry knowledge that she has been invaluable. And so things like that, you build these relationships and they just foster from there. And it's a great thing. We're really happy to be part of the AAA industry and then be involved with companies like yourself. So it's been great.
Thanks. Yeah, it is great. Just like you said, that there are so many different aspects of the aviation industry that you are impacted with your products and services that the average traveler may not realize. And whether it's as small as a deer or a really high security level issue, if either one happens, the airport can't function. So it's equally as important, no matter how big or small. And you cover it all. So
it's very important for us. It's always been one of the hallmarks of Ameristar. We like to be seen as a trusted advisor to not only the airports, but to the firms that work in the consulting with the airports on security. We take it very seriously because the fence part of it is not always a big part of it, but it's important to be able to protect people without them noticing.
Right. So out of those products, are there any products that are specific based on the application?
I think it requires somebody taking a look at what we're actually trying to accomplish. When you're trying to divert or to direct pedestrians, it's a softer view. It's directing them to where we want them to go. When you're talking about something in terms of perimeter protection or infrastructure protection, you want that to always be there, regardless if somebody's watching or not. So being able to understand what the threats are and providing the proper application, we like to say proper product for the proper application.
Yeah. And I think you can kind of think of it like a subdivision of housing. When you live in a subdivision, you're concerned about making sure your garage door is closed and your front door is locked and you're protecting your home and you're more secure in your home. But you don't have as much worry about the perimeter of your subdivision. Can people still get in? Can people come through? Absolutely. But what we try to focus on is what level of protection are we looking for? Are we trying to keep the person out of the subdivision on the outside perimeter? Or are we trying to keep people out of our house? And we're trying to keep people out of their houses. Now, do we provide solutions for the perimeter and things like that? Absolutely. But the airport is the house, and we're trying to do everything we can to make that a wonderful experience and people feel comfortable and that there are no threats that are going to affect the travelers when they're going on their day-to-day business.
I was going to try the fence business 37 years ago. That's when I started. I thought, we'll give it a shot. Okay. And 37 years later, we're having this conversation, which is great. It's a great business. There's a lot of good people in there. We do a lot of good things.
We've done a lot of really cool projects.
There's a lot of,
and not just not airports. I mean, like we did. Tom's done some, like big time golf courses. What's the Muirfield one?
They take down and put up 25 miles of fence, or I'm sorry, 5 miles of fence every year for the tournament in Dublin, Ohio. Okay. So Yeah, we've done some celebrities' homes and things of that nature. You know, that of course you can't say, but
Right.
you know,
we did Apple, so their
the
new facility out there. We did a lot of security out there. We do almost all the NFL football stadiums where they build new football stadiums, and they're all different. I mean, some of them are out in the middle of, you know, outside of town, but like we did the Raiders stadium, and it's on the Strip.
Yeah.
And so their needs are way different than, you know, out there. And so it's, yeah, some of the stuff we've got to see, because when we're a part of it, you know, like when they were building the Raiders stadium, we're involved in that 3 or 4 years before they even decide what color they're going to make it. And so I mean, that's cool to see the whole process of that going through.
Yeah, you're there from way at the beginning. Well, y'all provide a very important part of the aviation industry as far as security. So thank you so much for everything you do behind the scenes and for sitting down with us today to talk about it.
All right. Well, on behalf of Tom and myself, we greatly appreciate spending the time with you, and hopefully we can help somebody have some ideas or grow from that. So thank you very much.
We appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thanks.